Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and hello everyone. We are from class AP2246E and we gonna present about the loss and expenses according to the cases of Syarikat Pembinaan Anggerik Sdn Berhad and Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad. Before we begin our presentations, let me introduce our group members. My name is Muhammad Haris Syafiq bin Abdul Razak, Sharifah Nabilah binti Said Zainal Aibidin, Nurul Aina binti Muhammad Sainan, Maisarah binti Muzaffar, Nurul Syahira Azira binti Nur Azaman, and Alma Maisura Mashita binti Rozmi.
Syarikat Pembinaan Anggerik Sdn Berhad v Malaysian Airport Holdings Berhad is a notable case that revolves around a dispute between two prominent entities in the construction and airport management sector. The case involves Syarikat Pembinaan Anggerik, a construction company, and a Malaysian Airport Holding, a renowned organisation responsible for the management and operation of various airports in Malaysia. The dispute centers on contractual obligation, project delays, and alleged breaches of agreement related to construction project undertaken by Syarikat Pembinaan Anggerik for Malaysia Airports Holding. Now, let's continue with the chronology. In this case, whereby the plaintiff for this case is Syarikat Anggerik Sdn Berhad as the main contractor to carry out construction work at the Penang International Airport, while Malaysia Airport Holding Berhad is the defendant, which is the client for the construction project. The Judicial Commissioner JC for this case is T. Goh Hock from the High Court Shah Alam. This project is divided into two phases, which is Package 1 and Package 2. As for Package 1, the project involved the erection of the site office and a centrally utilized building, also carried out of airside drainage works, while Package 2 was involved with the construction or upgrading of the terminal building, transport corridor, and passenger boarding bridge. Continuing that, the plaintiff sought to recover for about 67 million for the work done on the project, including the prolongation costs, acceleration costs, and financing charges from the defendant. But the defendant denied the plaintiff's claim and counter-claim for the plaintiff delayed completion of the CUB and ADW works in Package 1 with an amount of 9,694,000. So in this case, the plaintiff demand for the claim from the defendant, while the defendant charged the plaintiff for the delay of the completion.
Hi, my name is Maisarah binti Muzaffar. Next, I will explain the facts of the cases. The plaintiff is pursuing monetary compensation for the expenses incurred as a result of rushing the completion of their project in response to Package 1. The execution of the project led to supplementary losses and expenses, as indicated in the loss and expense provision outlined in the contract. As per legal regulation, it is required upon the plaintiff to establish a causal relationship between additional losses suffered and either a breach of contract or an instruction issued by the SO. In contrast, the defendant has initiated a counterclaim amounting 444,000 ringgit Malaysia in LAD as a result of the main contractors and independent contractors failing to meet the agreed upon completion timeline. The plaintiff made a formal request for an extension of the allotted time period. The SO granted extension of time for the package contract in order to accommodate the completion of the Package 2 works within the extended time frame. The size of Package 1 is significantly smaller than the Package 2, resulting in the denial of the EOT for the completion of Package 1 works by the supervising organisation.
Next, I will explain about the decisions by the court. Both the plaintiff and the defendant accused the other party of breaching the contract and causing the anticipated damage in accordance with Section 74 of the Contract Act of 1950 or against an instruction from the superintending officer. Therefore, the higher court dismissed the entire of SPASB's claims for application costs and prolongation costs based on both liability and quantum. So, the court has made the decisions regarding to the case. The defendant is required to pay the plaintiff about 1,286,521 ringgit and 50 cents for the works done in package 1. The plaintiff is liable to pay the defendant for the delayed completion of ADW works. The amount to be paid is 750,000 with an interest rate of 5% per annum from 14 July 2014 until the date of full payment. It was determined that there is still an outstanding balance that the defendant owes to the plaintiff for defendant for package 1. However, these payments remains due and payable. After setting off the LAD sum of 750,000 ringgit from the plaintiff, the defendant is still obligated to pay the remaining cost of 1,286,521 ringgit and 50 cents along with an interest rate of 5% per annum from 14 July 2014 until the date of full payment. So next, for the package number 2, the plaintiff claim for the application cost, prolongation cost, and financing charge were rejected by the court. The decision from the court for the package number 2 are the defendant need to pay the plaintiff for the works done with the total of amount 8,642,914 ringgit 73 cents. As a result, there are no claims accepted for this package.
Hi, my name is Nurul Aina binti Omar Sainan, and I will continue with decision by court for claims that been rejected by the court. There are some claims from both plaintiff and defendants, since these issues approved by the Judicial Commissioner and the plaintiff or defendant deserve to claim the charges or claims, so there are also claims that are rejected by the court. As for the plaintiff failed to prove its claim for the acceleration cost under package 2, where the plaintiff failed to establish the legal basis in the instant case and failed to prove the alleged special damages faced by them. The plaintiff was not entitled to claim the prolongation cost because the plaintiff failed to meet the mandatory precondition under Clause 43, delay and EOT, and Clause 44, claim for loss and expense from the main contract to claim the cost. There is no other specific proof of the specific evidence of the quantum for the prolongation cost. There is no valid reason for the court to consider or approve the award damages to the plaintiff because there is no proof from the plaintiff take from any loan bank or credit facilities for the financial charges. Next, claims that rejected by the court for the defendant. LAD counterclaim by the defendant with the amount 400,000 ringgit has been dismissed because it is beyond the plaintiff's control and had preventing it from completing the Central Utilities Building CUB work, and since extension of time was sought by the plaintiff.
Hi, my name is Alma Maisura and we'll now continue with the next slide, which is conclusion. We will discuss a case involving two parties, the plaintiff and the defendant, and their claims against each other. Let's dive into the details. In this case, both parties are able to make claims against each other. The plaintiff can claim the cost incurred for the work they have completed. However, they are unable to claim for acceleration costs, prolongation costs, and financing charges due to a lack of evidence and reasons for this claim. On the other hand, the defendant can claim for the delayed completion of work for package 1 from the plaintiff. As per the contract, it is contractor's responsibility to carry out the work regularly and diligently until completion within the stipulated time frame. The client, in turn, has the obligation to make timely payments for the completed work. Both parties are expected to fulfill their responsibility as stated in the contract. This case highlights the importance of prompt payment by the client upon completion of work to avoid delays in project completion. Delays can potentially have negative consequences for both client and the contractor. Effective communication and strong relationship between the client and the contractor are essential for a successful partnership in terms of work.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. I am Sharifah Nabila binti Saidzana Abidin, and today I'll be presenting on the section of references for relatable clauses in PWD. For the case of Syarikat Pembinaan Anggerik Sdn Bhd versus Malaysia Airport Holding Berhad, the relatable form of contract is using PWD Form 203A Revision 2010. On the first clause is Clause 43.1 about delay and extension of time. Upon it becoming reasonably apparent that the progress of the work is delayed, the contractor shall forthwith give a written notice to the SO as to the causes of delay and relevant information with supporting document enabling the said officer to form an opinion as to the cause and calculation of the length of delay. If the opinion of the SO, the completion of the work is likely to be delayed or has been delayed beyond the dates for completion stated in the Appendix 1 or beyond any 6 extended date for completion previously fixed under this clause due to any or more of the following events. Secondly, on the clause 44 relating to the loss and or expenses, on the clause 44.1, if at any time during the regular progress of the works or any part thereof has been materially affected by reasons of delays as stated under clause 43.1 C, D, E, F and H, and the contractor has incurred direct loss and or expense beyond that reasonably contemplated and for which the contractor would not be reimbursed by a payment made under any other provision in this contract, then the contractor shall within 30 days of the occurrence of such event or any circumstances or instruction give notice in writing to the SO of his intention to claim for such a direct loss or expense together with an estimate of the amount of such loss and expenses, subject always to the clause 44.2 hereof. Then, on the clause 44.2, as soon as is practicable but not later than 90 days after practical completion of the works, the contractor shall submit a full particular of all claims for direct loss or expense under clause 44.1 together with all the supporting documents, voucher, explanations and calculation which may be necessary to enable the direct loss or expense to be ascertained by the SO. The amount of such direct loss or expense ascertained by the SO shall be added to the contract sum. In the last slide, on clause 44.3, if the contractor failed to comply with clauses 44.1 and 44.2 above, he shall not be entitled to such claim and the government shall be discharged from all liability in the connection with the claim. That's all from us for this assignment. Thank you and have a good day ahead.